Hello, I'm Jodi Ginsberg of Ginsberg Law Offices. Today I'm going to be speaking with you about the very difficult cases where individuals have sustained closed head injuries. They are probably some of the most difficult injuries that we have to deal with. In many cases, your loved one, or you if you're watching this, has sustained a closed head injury. And by all accounts, they physically look just fine. They look fine to you, they look fine to your family members, and to their doctors. Unfortunately, the trauma that is sustained with a closed head injury, many of our construction workers have these injuries, our plant workers, manufacturing workers, various folks in car accidents as well sustain these types of injuries. The brain is a very, very difficult part of the anatomy to understand, and when that brain tissue is swollen due to an injury, a head injury, the body and the mind react very, very differently. Many times doctors in the workers' compensation realm are going to dismiss you right off the bat if you go to an industrial clinic because they don't see bleeding or they don't see a fracture in the skull, and they therefore decide that there's really nothing wrong. You have to push them. You have to tell them that you need a CT scan of the brain or an MRI of the brain. It's extraordinarily important that there's an advocate for the person who sustained a closed head injury, whether it be a family member or they themselves, who are pushing the doctors to run the tests. We have seen many, many cases where an individual who sustained a head injury doesn't only receive that head injury, but may have received a neck injury or a low back injury, and for whatever reasons, the doctors seem to want to treat the neck injury or the back injury or the shoulder injury first. You may go to the emergency room, and at that point they may run a CT scan of the head and they may not see any bleeding in the brain, which is good. But sometimes these types of closed head injuries happen as time goes on. The brain starts to swell, and it may not happen right away that first hour or three. And ultimately what we see is the doctors who are treating at the industrial clinics or even at the orthopedic clinics are not always paying attention to all of the symptoms that an individual with a closed head injury is displaying. It may be a change in personality, but those doctors don't know what your personality is, so how would they know there's a change? That's why it's important for family members to step in. Certainly, having the typical symptoms of a concussion, where you're feeling sleepy, where you're having headaches, where you're seeing lights before your eyes, where you're nauseous, all of those things must be reported to your doctors immediately. And whatever we can do to help you to push along the need for particular medical care with neurologists and neurosurgeons, and in many cases psychologists and psychiatrists, to help you learn how to deal with the symptoms of a closed head injury, we are quite adept at doing that. We have many, many cases and clients where they have unfortunately sustained severe head injuries and are now under care with excellent specialists because we have pushed the insurance companies to get that care. The insurance companies are going to be very reluctant to authorize neurological and psychological care. Why? Because it's expensive. And these types of injuries are very serious and many times can last a lifetime. So we are happy to speak with you to help you push along the need and getting the medical care, take the cases to hearings if need be, and talk about the need for future medical care down the road, and if proper, trying to settle out the case with proper attendant care down the road, proper life care plans down the road, and all that needs to come with an individual who has sustained a very significant head injury. Please feel free to call us at 770-351-0801, and we'll be more than happy to speak with you. Thank you.